Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay, not a bad day. It's 79 degrees out. I just came in from petting my outdoor kitties and they're doing good. There's three of them left out there and a bunch of babies. I don't know how many babies the two girls have had, but yeah, I guess I'll find out pretty soon. But yeah, it's been a pretty nice day. I have some chicken breasts I cut up, and I'm gonna make fried chicken fingers um, with crinkle cut fries later on. Hopefully, I think I'll have the energy. I got my sit ups done earlier, so for Bruce sees all, yeah, it's 100 sit-ups, but I do them in half increments, if you know what I mean. Try this too because I have an injury on my abdomen and I have to be really careful. It's still, and I can do the full sit-ups and it's just as strenuous. You'll find out if you do what I mean, but if you go on your back and put your knees up and put your hands behind your head and your elbows together, you're already causing a tension on your upper abdomen. And then just lift like that, just a few inches. And then after you've done some of them, do the same amount. Go into sitting position, put your knees up if you can, and you can even grab the back of your legs or put your hands on your knees like that and then go back like I say, and the further you extend your legs while you're doing this, the more you'll work your lower abdomen. So if you do I do 100 on the top and 100 on the bottom. So I do my sit-ups, full sit-ups, working all my abdomen, but I do it in increments like that. And then I use it's a Chinese method of I'll have to, I don't know if it's part of my yoga training or what. I cannot remember, but you go in a circular motion on your abdomen and you rub it around in circles as flat as you can, counting to 30, and then you hold it right in the middle of your abdomen for about a minute with your arms at your side after that, and lay there and envision your abs like that. And what that does after you've done your top half and then your bottom half and then lay flat and do that circular motion from right to left to the count of 30. Hold it for 60 seconds there with your hand flat. Put your hands down at your side and relax. And that really does help activate all the um uh ligaments and tendons and stuff around your muscles in your abs. So that really will help. And I was doing the full sit-ups and I found that it does not work um deep like like what I just told you. Will work deeper and it's easier to somewhat. I had who I've been having a few hard days of getting them done. Um and you'll see what I mean. If you do one and then do them my way, you'll think, wow, the way I'm doing them, there's a lot more to it because you're moving your body 100 times more and still working out the target points on your abdomen and then finishing off. I do believe that is part of the, maybe it wasn't yoga, it could have been. I've studied so many Middle Eastern techniques and things. So I guess I really don't know at this time if I recall, and it's in there somewhere. I'll let you know what that is. It could be part of when I was studying isometrics. Not sure about that. But anyway, just a little bit of what's going on today around here while I roll some cigarettes and talk to you And then I have another friend, Robbins Hood. I shared a video of his yesterday, and a friend of mine, Catherine, wrote that she had tried to watch it, and she said, but it was so convoluted, meaning like kind of like all over the place, but actually wasn't. If you know the history of his channel, first, if just listening to what is being spoken about in um with people that he's got, like different ministers, he'll show like some scripture or something, and what their viewpoint is something. It doesn't mean that either me, him, or I, or other people may see it the way these pastors are seeing it, but he's using it for a mode of language to communicate. And so, actually, what I'm trying to say is, after like 5 years, it's not that he's convoluted. It's just that um, it was it and showing like the landscapes and the hidden meanings in the landscapes and buildings and different things. He lives in well, around Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is a really big deal to the United States of America. So, and has a lot of history from our founding fathers and that type of thing in that area. So, but yeah, and he's one, just like I can say, I know I've been targeted by and gang stalked all my life and watched and whatnot, and he's told people that, and they're like, yeah, sure, even if they're a part of it and they know full well, but it's not. And he's been telling people, warning people about things that might happen in his city, um sort of prophesying or not, just if he could, just like you or I, if we can stop something from happening, we'll do that. Well, and his name's Robin. So what do they do? I mean, I'm not saying I can't prove that anything isn't real or anything, but that elementary school just happened to be called Robb Elementary. Yeah, I know. I know. It's just like right after I was born, they designed a voodoo doll after me, and looked similar to me, you know. Things like, yeah, I know. It's just, all people look similar, you know. I know. Yeah, it's just a coincidence. And it's just a coincidence that I got a Chatty Cathy doll when I was a kid, and my first name was Catherine Marie, you know. So I don't know. Anyway, just kind of odd because the people that raised me knew more about me than I did myself, and they kept it from me for a very long time. But oh, okay. I had one kind of good, kind of bad thing happen today, and I'll go in correlation with this. Um, First, really quick before I forget, it is May. God, my eyes are bad. 28th, 2022. Why have they started taking the um dates off of all the videos? If you go to watch a video or a movie or something of somebody's or whatever, there's no date on it to indicate a lot of the times when this person journaled that, which I don't like, because all my information that I'm talking to my children that can't look at it right now but will someday in the future aren't going to have a date on the information. Well, my theory on that is, if you prophesy about something and say you could, God gave you some information, or in through the ether, you just had this sneaky suspicion or something was going on. So you decided, well, I'm going to document this and tell people about this. And even if they were going to do it, maybe I can stop it. So by them taking the date off of things that people are saying, doing out on the internet here, is doing people a huge disservice. Not only by not showing other people, like, yeah, I was being led by the Spirit, or no, what I said didn't happen, but it happened somewhere else in a different way, and this is how I can show that this did. It's oh, come to think of it, if anybody's videos were convoluted, all over the place today. So, okay, that was my point on that. And then I got a call from my youngest son who has drug and alcohol problems. And I knew he had been homeless, and I figured it only was a matter of time till um, I would hear from him again. Not in a good way, because he called that he didn't have anywhere to sleep, so he ended up going to this one small town. And what my suspicion, the part that wasn't true, is he was going to be going to court coming up on whenever, and probably get just for time served. But the point being is, he had to have done something to get picked up and incarcerated. So anyway, um part of what he was telling me, when you see this, John, make sure you got your facts straight before you talk, because I mean, it's better just to tell the truth straight out, whether you are ashamed of yourself or don't care, or to me, the lie is more shameful than anything I could be told. So that's, when you see this, and maybe someday you will, or whoever, you know. But just, okay, that brings me to my point of what I'm going to talk about today. The mother of the SHOOTER at Robb Elementary School um, said not to judge her son because you don't know what he went through. Is that an excuse? Um, do we take all that's bad that's happened to us and take that out on other people? And I could tell you, my one son was raped when he was a baby, and another one, some other really bad things happened to my children and to myself. I've had a child murdered. What do I do? Do I go out there and say, well, you don't know what's happened to me in my life, so um, that's an excuse to do something to know somebody? No. That's why I say there's a clear distinction between mental illness and evil, because you can't pinpoint evil with a word. It's a spirit, it's a guidance of sorts. Um, Satan is guiding his own people. That it's clear, it's as clear as anything. And the children are greeted by Jesus in heaven. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. That would sound incompassionate, and I don't mean to be like that. Because, and two, this mother lost her child too because he had his problems. But making excuses for our son in front of the world when they do wrong isn't going to help somebody else's son or somebody else that's struggling. If I'm sitting there making excuses for you when you do something, I'm not helping you. You know, it's not like, oh, well, he went through this, so let's, no, no. If you're that deranged, seek help for real, you know. And if you can't seek help, and the mother is so concerned about helping her child, well, do like I did, get help for them. You obviously, if she knew her child had been through those types of things, then she was there. Well, then obviously, the first instinct of a parent is, gee, my kid's acting a little off. I think I'm going to get him some help so he can be a part of society. That's right. From a counseling minister medical opinion that I have a right to have, I'm telling you that they shouldn't even let that woman speak. Shut it down, dog face girl. On that, okay, that's about as enough in compassion as I'll go on that. But this is a mom speaking that has young men in her life that have been through horrific things, that I will not use that for an excuse to coddle somebody that doesn't deserve to be coddled. I will not. That only puts other people in danger. That's foolish. It's evil. I would be evil if I did that. Now, if you want to say that your son was mentally deranged and totally following Satan, or you didn't see the mental illness because you do so many dark things within your own household, it's evidently acceptable to you. You know, tell the truth. I'll probably believe that, you know. But they're using these people out there like shills, like, and then some other mom's going to think, well, then I can see where my son's bad behavior would affect something that he's doing in society, and society's going to be accepting of this. No, we're not. Shut the hell up. When your child does something wrong, you make them face it. Even this child is dead now. The 18-year-old shooter, you know, maybe 18-year-old shooters wouldn't become 18-year-old shooters if their mothers would at least said, you know, that's not my baby until they die. You're a grown man now. You were a baby when you were a baby. Oh, it's always going to be my baby until I die in my heart. Not. Fucking let's get real on this planet, shall we? These adult people, deranged adult people, are not anybody's baby. That's Satan's baby. And she might be too, obviously. Because no mother in her right mind is going to get, or parent is going to get up there. I mean, I've seen people, parents of people that have done bad things. I saw grown men bawling his eyes out because his child was a perpetrator. You know, that's the real reaction. Feeling for somebody else that got injured because of your child, that would be the natural reaction. You know, and I know what I'm talking about firsthand. My kid's lucky he didn't kill somebody when he poked her eye out and broke her face. So, no, you don't make excuses for monsters. You don't coddle monsters. You call them for what they are. You know. So that's all part of a setup thing too, and them wearing like the Phoenician purple and red or the teal blue. Um, it's all in the symbolism too, and the colors that they use on the news networks and the lighting. I mean, why would you set a stage for people to speak at a press conference and then have something that is obviously the symbology, and people aren't ignorant to these things. If I wear blood red, Well, what do you think I'm thinking? You know, I wonder, if I wear black, is that any indication of how I'm feeling? Well, maybe. See, today I wanted to wear a light pink shirt I just got, but it's too warm for today. But because that's the mood I'm in, excuse me. Or people will go with what they have, you know, clean from the laundry when you're like a young working person or whatever. If you don't have something available like your favorite shirt or jeans or whatever, then I don't know if you hear my neighborhood, which we live out in the country, but it has been like they've been blasting shotguns and 22s and just going crazy. And Doug said, sounds like the, what do you say? How do you put it? Something of the insane, oh, the patients of the insane asylum took over, and it's like more than one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Yeah, we live in a crazy world. We live in my neighborhood. I have several families that have small children, and there was just a so-called shooting in our country, and then there's people that are blasting firearms all day now. Well, not all day, but the majority of the day. And I'm thinking, these little kids are sitting there eating their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, listening to this, being conditioned to this, out in the country where you'd think people would move to have peace, but they only moved out to use their firearms. And then I think to myself, when you learn to use your gun and you hit the target and you just know how to do that, how many times do you have to do that in order to know that you know how? You know. So, yeah. I am not anti gun, I'm just anti stupid. It's just like this one person running up and down the road with this piece of crap quad runner they have. It's going to blow up. I'm not sure when, but it will be pretty soon. I was thinking that one time about the same neighbor, and they had this truck that I think they took the converter off, the catalytic converter, um, to make money. So they'll take that part out of the exhaust system and go sell it, which is illegal, but people do that for money. I mean, I suppose if you're going to buy shells and shoot them off on the weekends, you have to get your gas money somewhere. Same people, but he was running his truck up and down the road. He almost literally hit Doug one time, and I've had people almost hit and run me off our road too because it's very narrow and there's trees on each side and some pretty good sized hills and stuff with curves and a little bit crazy to go very, very fast and a horse got hit out on our road too by somebody driving too fast. So it really isn't a joke at all. And people hit gears all the time, and that type of thing. And well, and I heard this ruckus here about, oh, maybe 6 months ago or so, and I said, blow up. And it did. I heard it down just after I thought that. It wasn't long. And I heard it just blow. And yeah, anyway. So, yeah, that things like, and I wasn't thinking that strong about it today, but something tells me that that will happen. So, it's your thoughts out in the ether that matter. Be careful how you use them. You know, I'm not after anybody's vehicles necessarily. I'm after stupid. and evil. But yeah, I'm talking about somebody that came in my yard, a man that came in my yard, would not talk to me in front of Doug, but stopped me on the road and asked me if I wanted to ride about 2 days after he wouldn't talk to me in my own yard. I'm like, oh, no, no, not at all. You know, jerk. One of them, you know. And you can just tell. A person knows. So, yeah. I mean, that sort of sounds like it would be a neighborly thing to do, but it's not quite like that. Like I say, and what would be wrong with saying hello to me in my own yard? I have no clue. So I went up and I was trying to say something to Doug while this moron was in my yard. And I said, hello. He just looked at me stupid, literally, and kept talking to Doug. And Doug and I looked at each other like, because Doug's not stupid, although he plays games, um, which really isn't a game at all. But he doesn't really miss anything. Neither do I. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't do adultery, even in my mind, you know. So, and I don't do adulterers either very well. I'm not very graceful around them, I guess is how I would put it, you know. So it's a big deal to me, a very big deal, you know. And coming from what I would call failed marriages, total flipping failure, um, I still would never do anything to hurt another person's marriage ever in my life or wish that upon anybody in the world ever, you know. So I respect the union between a man and a woman. And I expect that out of people that are just dating too. It's like if you're dating somebody and you're around me, you better be serious. Don't be playing games because I don't take people's feelings in relationships lightly at all. Even my friendships, I am dead serious. I have God in my heart, and that's what I run on. And anything else really isn't acceptable to me or out of me or out of anybody. But although if people are learning gradually or even a little baby steps, I'm all cool with that. It's like, hey, I love you. I'm right here with you. You know. Hopefully, I can be some kind of guiding light like that. Because don't let these people make excuses for their children or themselves or nothing. Zero. Not nada. Nothing at all. Speaking of a friend, my twinsy birthday guy, Bruce Cesal. What beautiful singing in Latin you did, my friend. Brings me back to um, long hours listening to nuns sing. And then when we were able to like sneak in a reprieve, you know. So, wow. Although I was raised Lutheran, I went to Catholic girls' school. So, yeah, part of my life. It wasn't really the most pleasant experience in the world. I almost kind of sort of reformed um, the nuns and the father there. Well, they didn't like me. They were trying to reform me. It wasn't actually a reform school. It was called a girls' school. you know, but it might as well have been the same thing. So yeah. It was a really good school, no doubt. And we had, oh, the most magnificent sound rooms, one on each side of the auditorium, one on each side of the stage. So you could go in and you could put, like, if you wanted to play the drums, you could put your headphones on and play like your uh, record, whatever soundtrack you were using or whatever, and listen to that and play along with it and record it. Or they had guitars, they had all kinds of instruments in there. And when we had our free time, we were free to do that. And hardly anybody would ever use them at all. And the one in particular had a better sound than the other one. And but it was the least used, but the acoustics were better in there. So I really never understood where people's minds were at. A lot of times in my life, things like that would happen that made absolutely no sense. That they'd always go to the one on the left. It's like something weird about it. I don't know. I really don't know, but it's true. But yeah. Well, I think that's about it for today. I just want everybody to consider the fact that when our children do something terrible, you don't make excuses. You just don't. Nobody in their right mind's going to get up there and say you don't know what they've been through. I can tell you what my child's been through. And I could tell you that they have all the reason in the world to do something horrible, but that wouldn't give them the right to do that to another human being. To take that out on one individual human being through their own flesh and their own soul. Even that mother selling a piece of her soul for her kid. That's already gone. Boy, Satan got her by the ass. Don't know what to say, but it's true. So if you got kids out there and they're being naughty, confront them with it. You can't go wrong. Right now, today, I still have my kid calling me to make sure I don't hate his guts. You know, asked if I'd write him a letter, and I said, send me the address. I'll write you back. You know, but I'll tell you something. And I told both my kids this. You ever end somebody's life, and you just ended your relationship with me. So, and I take that very serious. So, and I told them, and they know this, to take that very serious. I don't think they've taken it as serious as they should, though. So we have a distance between us, and that's why they cause their own rift. So people do too. They really do. They can have it all in the world, have the best friend on the planet, and totally deny from their own filth in life. They would rather carry on with their filth in their shame than admit in front of somebody that knows they're acting crappy. So, well, everybody, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to bring a few things to the attention of with the exercising in the name of the elementary school, the dates on here, and that mother's total, I won't even call it ignorance, I'll say guided by the dark force. Period. That's who they are. So don't be too sorrowful in these times, and just know that if God takes somebody, if he takes me today, the people say you're better off. Well, I would say so. We all know this is kind of like a learning process. We probably got that far in our minds to understand that there's something we're supposed to be getting out of this. So, and it's not just the coming together as one, it's the separating of it all. It's like, no, this is not a part of who we are. No, we are not accepting this. It's the division bell has rang. That's the bottom line. Time to start speaking out in the world like, yeah, we see you and no, you're not doing that anymore. Here's a professional to help you with your sickness. So I love you all. Thank you so much. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. I will not say Happy Memorial Day weekend. Tell that to the natives. Peace.